Welcome to another edition of Driving Perilously. The show in which we turn on the radio and talk about what we find, but we're careful not to play too much of it so we don't get a copyright strike. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. That's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. So one of my favorite lines of popular music is, I know I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like a leprous above the Serengeti. It's a pretty good one. I think that's it. I know I must do what is right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like a leprous above the Serengeti. Interesting. So that's the song Africa by Toto. I don't know too much about Toto. I don't know too much about Africa. I like that song. I did use Africa as an example in my academic life of being okay with not doing too well. I was in 7th grade or 8th grade, and I was good at school, and I really liked maps. I still like maps, and I thought I had learned the map of Africa. And when I got the test back, I got a D. And I rarely received D's in school. I don't know if I ever got a D. I might have got an F if I didn't turn an assignment in. But if I did an assignment, and if I tried, I always got at least a C, but probably a B just for trying, right? So every once in a while I go to this website called Shepherd Software, SHEPPARD, Shepherd Software with 2 P's. And they have educational games. Some of them look quite low tech these days, but when I started using Shepherd Software, they were graphics on computers hadn't come as far as they've come now. And there's a map of Africa, and you take each country with your cursor and decide where it goes. So there's all different levels. You can divide up the continent into sections and just learn where the countries are by section of the map, or you can do the whole thing, or you can put it on cartographer level of difficulty, and then you're given a country and you have to decide which end is up. So you're given a shape of a country, and then you turn it around, rotate it, and change the size and decide where it goes on the map. So every once in a while I overcome my almost failure to learn the African map in junior high school by learning the African map as it is today. Since I've been playing that educational game, Sudan has split into Sudan and South Sudan, and Swaziland has become known as Eswatini. I was in a trivia contest one time, and they started talking about the newest country in the world, Eswatini, and what they actually meant was that the United States had just agreed to start calling it Eswatini, not that it was actually a new country. And I'm thinking, what? I just studied the map yesterday. I never heard of Eswatini. What are they talking about? These people are nuts. But Swaziland asked other countries to start calling it Eswatini, and at some point the United States said, okay, we'll call you Eswatini, and that's what they were getting at. So Swaziland and Lesotho, or Lesotho, are basically inside South Africa. One of them's inside and one's on the border. And they're little countries within that country. Interesting, right? To have a country inside a country. Italy has two countries inside its country. It's got San Marino and the Holy See, or Vatican City, depending on what you want to call it. Then, of course, the United States has lots of places that, by treaty with Native Americans, are countries within our country, and so forth. Legend has it that Disney World is technically its own sovereign country. The word country doesn't mean that much. We've got principalities, and we've got city-states, and we've got sovereign nations, and we've got all kinds of different terms for the level of independence a place has. And when it comes down to it, everybody reports to somebody. But the idea of a state within a state is an interesting one that comes to mind because of Toto's Africa. Toto is only interesting name to me because of that little dog in The Wizard of Oz. I don't know any other Totos except for the ones that sang Africa. So I think there are probably a lot of people who know more about the band Toto, and for them, the song Africa is proof of their band's success. But for many people, that's all they know, is that one song. And how weird it is to be known for one thing that you do. I just saw that my latest movie is being released, and I don't know how many people are going to see it, even if it's going to actually get released. But how bizarre it would be for that to take off and become something I was known for. And it was just something that occupied my mind for an hour and a half. But that's the nature of things. We boil things down and learn their generalities. Somebody slapped the label, the dark continent, on Africa, and that's what some people think it is. But Africa's actually huge, very diverse, all different kinds of cultures, geographical features, and so forth. So, good song, Toto's Africa. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like a leprous above the Serengeti